Jayaha Shiva Rajaya here from vitalcoaching.com. I hope you're having a wonderful day, powerful day. Oh my God, life can be so much full of bliss and so full of challenges sometimes as well. So I hope that right now you're navigating a wave that is more on the side of bliss and beauty. And if by any chance you're having a challenging experience, just breathe with me for a moment. Sending you lots of love and blessings. The topic for this video is intimacy, sensuality, and sex, or sexuality. So when we are creating connection with another human being, we can engage with that human being in different ways. If, for instance, you and I start into a deep eye-gazing process, there is not necessarily going to be any sensuality involved. It means that our senses are not necessarily activated, but we are going to start creating a field of energetic resonance between the two of us. That creates a sense of intimacy. And for instance, if we engage in any form of sexual exchange, we are attracted to each other, and then we start touching each other's body and activating the erotic fire, that's going to be another line of experience. That might be different than an intimacy experience. And then what if our skins are simply touching and we experience some form of sensuality in the touch, but there is not necessarily erotic flow involved? And so the reason why we want to give those three windows of access, it's because the filters of our mind, of our energies, are going to interpret reality and give us an experience that might be a little bit more of intimacy, a little bit more of sexuality, or a little bit more of sensuality. And sometimes we are having an experience with somebody that might just be an intimacy experience, and this doesn't mean that we have to engage with that person in sexual ways. So making a little bit of these distinctions allows you to navigate life with a little bit more frames and possibilities on how to select how you want to dive or how you want to connect with a specific human being. Sometimes a sexual connection is not appropriate, but an intimate one, intimacy, will be within the range of what's possible. And sometimes after you have an intimate connection with somebody, then naturally the flow starts moving into a sexual experience. And so very often those three aspects of life, or these three aspects of relating, are going to be intertwined. You might have an experience which is at the same time sensual, sexual, and very intimate, very profoundly intimate. And sometimes you will have a sexual experience and actually miss a certain degree of emotional connection, which would be you are experiencing pleasure, but you are not necessarily experiencing a profound level of intimacy with that person. So when you look at the landscape of how you're relating, it's good to keep that in mind. The reason why you want to keep that in mind is because you have the power, depending on how you position yourself and how you engage with another human being, to create more of a certain experience. And none of these experiences is more valid than the other. They are all real, and they are all powerful, and they are all beautiful. And it's important to know that depending on how you engage and how you connect with a given person, you are going to trigger more of one or the other of these experiences. So this is simply a hint to give you the possibility to keep that in mind when you are engaging and when you are having an experience of a certain form of connection with another human being. What are you experiencing when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to sensuality, when it comes to sexuality? What are you experiencing? Is it sensual? Is it sexual? Is the sexual energy appropriate, or should you shift to something that is purely intimate presence? And again, you can experience something that is purely intimate with somebody that doesn't involve any form of physical touch, doesn't involve a sensual experience, and doesn't involve either the circulation of sexual energy. So it's good to keep that in mind, to know about it, so that next time you are engaging, can be more selective and more conscious about what you're doing with that specific person. I love you. I will see you soon.